Hello there, and welcome to Simple Science for Sleep. Right now, as you settle in, your body is performing an ancient ritual. It's been perfecting for millions of years. Every evening, in the brief window between sunset and true darkness, something remarkable happens inside you. A cascade of changes so precise, so beautifully timed, that scientists are still discovering new pieces of this puzzle. Tonight, we're going to walk through those 8 minutes together, moment by moment, and discover what your body knows that you don't. Before we begin this journey, if this kind of gentle science wonder brings you calm, or if you're curious about the hidden rhythms happening inside you right now, hit that like button and subscribe. It helps other quiet explorers find their way here too. And tell me in the comments where you're listening from and what time it is there. There's something beautiful about knowing we're all under the same vast sky, watching the same light fade. Whether you're in Lagos, watching the sun dip below the horizon, or somewhere across the ocean, where darkness has already settled in, we're connected by these universal rhythms. Now, let yourself sink deeper into comfort. Find that spot where your body feels supported, where you can let go of the day's tension. Because we're about to discover what begins in that very first minute after the sun touches the horizon. And I promise you, it's more intricate, more beautiful than you might imagine. Think about the last time you watched a sunset. Maybe you were struck by the colors, the way orange and pink paint the sky. Maybe you felt something shift inside you, a kind of peace or melancholy you couldn't quite name. What you were feeling wasn't just emotion. It was your body responding to an ancient signal, one that predates human civilization, predates human consciousness itself. Your body has been measuring light since before you took your first breath. Even now, as you listen to these words, specialized cells in your eyes are counting photons, analyzing wavelengths, sending messages to parts of your brain you'll never consciously access. This isn't science fiction. This is happening right now, and it's been happening every single evening of your entire life. The 8 minutes between sunset and darkness aren't just a transition in the sky. They're a transition inside you, a carefully orchestrated sequence of chemical releases, temperature shifts, and cellular preparations that transform you from a daytime creature into a nighttime one. Your body doesn't wait for you to decide it's bedtime. It begins preparing hours before you even think about sleep. And it all starts with that first moment when the sun touches the horizon, when blue light begins its slow fade from the world. So, let's step into that first minute together and see what your body does when it detects that the day is ending. The moment the sun dips below the horizon, your eyes detect something your conscious mind doesn't. Notice yet, the quality of light changes. It happens so gradually, so smoothly, that you might think nothing has shifted at all. But your body knows better. Your body is paying attention in ways you never could consciously track. Blue wavelengths start to fade first, leaving behind warmer reds and oranges. This isn't random. Blue light has a shorter wavelength, and it scatters more easily in the atmosphere. As the sun's angle changes, as its light has to travel through more and more air to reach your eyes, the blue gets filtered out, scattered across the sky. What remains is that golden glow, that warmth we associate with sunset. Deep in your retina, at the very back of your eye, special cells wake up to this shift. These aren't the cells that help you see shapes or read words. Those are your rods and cones, and they've been working hard all day. No, these are different. They're called intrinsically photosensitive retinal ganglion cells. That's a mouthful, so let's just call them light-sensing cells. These cells have been sitting quietly in your retina, measuring one thing and one thing only: how much blue light is in the world around you. They don't care about red light or green light or anything else. They're tuned specifically to blue. And right now, in this first minute after sunset, they're noticing that blue light is fading away. Here's what makes these cells so remarkable. They contain a special protein called melanopsin. This protein is ancient, older than eyes themselves. Single-celled organisms used versions of this protein billions of years ago to detect light. And your body still uses it today, tucked away in these specialized cells, doing one of the most important jobs in your entire system. When blue light hits melanopsin, it triggers a signal. But as the sun sets and blue light fades, that signal weakens. It's like a switch slowly moving from on to off. Except this switch doesn't control a light bulb. It controls your entire biological clock. Every evening of your life, this same process unfolds. These cells detect the falling blue light and prepare to send a message that will cascade through your entire body. You can't feel this happening. There's no sensation, no moment of awareness. But it's occurring right now, as certain as your heartbeat, as automatic as your breath. Your eyes are doing more than seeing. They're measuring time itself, tracking the Earth's rotation through the simple act of counting blue photons. And here's something beautiful to consider. This process doesn't require a perfect sunset. It doesn't matter if there are clouds or rain, or if you're indoors looking through a window. As long as some natural light reaches your eyes, as long as those blue wavelengths can make their journey from the sun to your retina, your body knows what time of day it is. Your body knows that evening has arrived. In laboratories, scientists have studied these cells under microscopes. They've watched them respond to light, tracked the signals they send. But even with all our technology, all our understanding, there's still something profound about the fact that right now, in this very moment, your body is performing this measurement. You are connected to the sun, to the Earth's rotation, to the cosmos itself, through these tiny cells you'll never see, and this protein you'll never touch. The first minute has passed. The message is forming, and now it needs somewhere to go. Those light-sensing cells in your eyes have detected the change. Blue light is fading. Now they need to tell the rest of your body what's happening. So they send a message, and this message takes a path you might not expect. It doesn't go to your visual cortex. That's the part of your brain that processes images, that helps you recognize faces and read words and navigate through space. Your conscious vision never receives this sunset signal. This information is too important to wait for conscious processing. It needs to travel somewhere deeper, somewhere more ancient. The signal moves along a neural pathway called the retinohypothalamic tract. Think of it as a private telephone line, connecting your eyes directly to your brain's control center. This pathway is small, just a bundle of nerve fibers, but it carries one of the most crucial pieces of information your body receives each day. The message travels fast, racing along at speeds your conscious thoughts could never match. Where is it going? Deep into the center of your brain, to a region called the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus is small, about the size of an almond, but it controls an enormous range of functions. Your body temperature, your hunger, your thirst, your hormones. It's like the command center of your unconscious life, constantly making adjustments you never notice. But the signal goes even deeper than the hypothalamus itself. It travels to a specific cluster of neurons sitting just above where your optic nerves cross paths. This cluster is called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. Super meaning above, chiasmatic referring to that crossing point of the optic nerves. It's positioned right there at the intersection, perfectly placed to receive signals from both eyes. This cluster of neurons is tiny, about the size of a grain of rice. Maybe 20,000 neurons packed into that small space. In a brain with billions of neurons, this seems insignificant. But these particular neurons have a job that affects every single cell in your body. They are your master clock. Imagine a conductor standing before an orchestra. Every musician has their own instrument, their own part to play. But without the conductor, there would be chaos. The violins might play too fast, the drums too slow. Everything would fall apart. Your suprachiasmatic nucleus is that conductor, keeping every cell, every organ, every system in your body synchronized. Here's what makes this clock truly remarkable. It keeps time even in complete darkness. Scientists have studied this. They've taken cells from the suprachiasmatic nucleus and kept them alive in laboratory dishes, isolated from any light, any external signals. And those cells keep ticking, cycling through their rhythm, day after day. The clock runs on its own, powered by genes that turn on and off in a roughly 24-hour pattern. But here's the thing about this internal clock. It's not exactly 24 hours. For most people, it runs a bit longer, maybe 24.5 hours. If left completely alone, never seeing sunlight, your internal clock would slowly drift out of sync with the actual day. You'd go to bed later and later, wake up later and later, until eventually you'd be completely backwards, sleeping during the day and waking at night. That's why this sunset signal is so important. Every evening, when those light-sensing cells detect fading blue light, they send their message to the master clock. And the clock responds by resetting itself, adjusting its rhythm to match the actual rotation of the Earth. It's like setting your watch to the correct time each day, making sure you stay synchronized with the world around you. Right now, in this moment, your master clock is receiving that signal. The message has arrived. Day is ending. Time to shift into evening mode. And now the real transformation begins. Your master clock has received the message. Blue light is fading. The sun has set. Now, in this second minute after sunset, something shifts inside that tiny cluster of neurons. The clock begins to respond, adjusting its rhythm, preparing to send out commands that will ripple through your entire body. This clock has been ticking since before you were born. Even in the womb, your developing brain formed this structure, these neurons finding each other, connecting, beginning their endless cycle. When you were still floating in darkness, never having seen sunlight, your clock was already there, waiting to synchronize with the world you'd soon enter. The clock runs on genes, specific genes that turn on and off in a pattern, like a molecular pendulum swinging back and forth. These genes have names, simple abbreviations that hide their complexity. Clock and BL1, purr and cry. They work together, one set turning on while the other turns off, creating a feedback loop that takes about 24 hours to complete. But genes alone aren't enough. The clock needs confirmation from the outside world. It needs to know that its internal time matches external reality. That's what the sunset signal provides. The fading blue light tells the clock, yes, your timing is correct. Evening is truly here. Continue as planned. Think of it like a conductor raising their baton. The musicians have been warming up, playing scattered notes, preparing. But now the conductor lifts their hand and everyone falls silent, alert, ready. The performance is about to begin. Your master clock is lifting its baton, and the orchestra of your body is paying attention. The clock doesn't control your body directly. It can't reach down into your stomach or your liver or your muscles and tell them what to do. Instead, it sends signals through two main pathways. First, through nerves, electrical messages that travel fast, reaching distant parts of your body in milliseconds. Second, through hormones, chemical messengers that move slower but last longer, creating sustained changes that persist for hours. Right now, in this second minute, the clock is beginning to send both kinds of signals. Nerve impulses start firing, traveling down through your brainstem, out into your spinal cord, branching into networks that reach every organ. At the same time, the clock is preparing to trigger hormone release, setting up chemical cascades that will transform your internal environment. But here's what makes this moment so precise. The clock isn't just reacting to one sunset. It's incorporating information from every sunset you've ever experienced. Your circadian rhythm isn't reset from scratch each day. It's a continuously running cycle that gets gently nudged back on track each evening. The clock learns, adapts, predicts. If you've been watching sunsets at roughly the same time for weeks, your clock anticipates it. It begins preparing even before the sun goes down, getting ready for the changes it knows are coming. This is why you might start feeling sleepy around the same time each evening, even before it gets dark. Your clock is working ahead, preparing your body based on past patterns. Scientists have found that this clock influences somewhere between 30 and 40% of all genes in your body. Not all at once, but different genes at different times of day. Some genes are more active in the morning, helping you wake up and feel alert. Others peak in the evening, preparing you for sleep and repair. The clock orchestrates all of this, timing gene activity to match your body's needs throughout the day. And it's not just one clock. Every cell in your body has its own clock, its own set of these timing genes. But they all listen to the master clock, taking their cues from those neurons in your suprachiasmatic nucleus. It's like a symphony, where every musician has their own sense of rhythm, but everyone follows the conductor to stay synchronized. The baton is raised. The signal is clear. Evening mode is beginning. And now, the clock sends a message to a gland that's been waiting all day for this moment. The master clock sends its signal outward, and one particular destination receives the message with perfect clarity. Deep within your brain, buried beneath layers of tissue, sitting almost exactly in the geometric center of your head, lies a small structure shaped like a tiny pine cone. This is your pineal gland, and it's been waiting all day for this moment. The pineal gland is ancient, not just in evolutionary terms, though it is that too. Ancient philosophers thought this gland was special. Descartes, the French thinker, believed it was the seat of the soul, the place where mind and body connected. He was wrong about that, but he was right that this gland is remarkable. During the day, the pineal gland stays quiet. Your master clock sends signals telling it to wait, to hold back, to remain suppressed. It's like keeping a lid on a pot of water that wants to boil. The gland is ready, primed, but something is holding it back. That something is the presence of blue light. The signal that day is still happening. But now the sun has set. The blue light has faded. The master clock has received confirmation, and the signal it sends to the pineal gland changes. The suppression lifts. The lid comes off. The gland begins to stir, waking from its daylight dormancy. The pineal gland is small, about the size of a grain of rice, weighing less than 200 milligrams. But size doesn't indicate importance. This tiny gland is about to produce one of the most influential molecules in your entire evening transformation. A molecule that will touch nearly every cell in your body, announcing that night has arrived. Blood flows into the pineal gland, bringing raw materials, amino acids, the building blocks of proteins and hormones. The gland starts working, its cells activating enzymes, chemical tools that will transform these simple building blocks into something more complex. This is precision chemistry, happening in the darkness of your skull, following a recipe perfected over millions of years. The gland is preparing to make melatonin, but not yet, not in a flood. The pineal gland doesn't rush. It responds to the master clock's signal by beginning a gradual, controlled process. Think of it like turning up a dimmer switch, slowly increasing the light rather than flipping it on all at once. Here's something fascinating about the pineal gland. Even though it's buried deep in your brain, isolated from direct light, it still responds to light and darkness with perfect accuracy. How? Through that pathway we followed earlier, the signal from your eyes traveling to the master clock, and then from the clock to the pineal gland. The gland never sees light directly, but it knows exactly what's happening in the sky above you. Ancient creatures had pineal glands that could sense light directly. Some reptiles still have this feature, a light-sensitive organ right on top of their head, sometimes called a third eye. As mammals evolved and our brains grew more complex, the pineal gland moved deeper inside, losing its direct connection to light. But it kept its sensitivity to day and night through this indirect pathway. Your pineal gland has been doing this every evening of your life. When you were a baby, experiencing your first sunset, your pineal gland responded. Through childhood, adolescence, every stage of your life, this gland has been marking the transition from day to night. It's one of the most reliable processes in your body, as predictable as your heartbeat, as automatic as your breathing. But the pineal gland isn't working alone. It's part of a network, receiving signals from the master clock, which receives signals from your eyes, which receives signals from the sun. You are connected to the cosmos through this chain of signals, this cascade of responses. The rotation of the Earth, the movement of our planet through space, translated into chemical changes inside a gland you'll never see. The gland is awake now. The enzymes are active. The production is beginning. And in the next minute, the molecule that will transform your evening will start flowing into your bloodstream. The pineal gland starts creating melatonin. Not a flood yet, just a trickle. The first molecules are being assembled right now, in this third minute after sunset, as the gland's enzymes work through their chemical transformations. The process starts with something simple. Tryptophan, an amino acid you get from food, turkey, milk, nuts, seeds. Your body can't make tryptophan, so you have to eat it. But once it's in your system, your pineal gland can transform it into something extraordinary. First, enzymes convert tryptophan into serotonin. You might know serotonin as the happiness molecule, the neurotransmitter that affects your mood. But serotonin has another job. During the evening, inside the pineal gland, it becomes the raw material for melatonin. Two more enzymes work on the serotonin molecule, adding chemical groups, rearranging its structure until it becomes something new. The first melatonin molecules slip out of the pineal gland and in your bloodstream. They travel through tiny blood vessels, entering your circulation, beginning their journey to every corner of your body. This is the moment when your evening transformation truly begins. Melatonin is often called the sleep hormone, but that's not quite accurate. Melatonin doesn't make you sleep. It doesn't force your eyes closed or shut down your consciousness. What it does is far more subtle and far more important. Melatonin is a messenger, traveling through your bloodstream, knocking on doors throughout your body, announcing that evening is here, that it's time to prepare for rest. Almost every cell in your body has melatonin receptors, little proteins on the cell surface that recognize melatonin and respond to it. When a melatonin molecule finds its receptor, it triggers changes inside that cell. Different cells respond differently. Some adjust their metabolism. Others change which genes they're expressing. But all of them receive the same basic message. Night has arrived. The levels are low right now, just beginning to rise. In a few hours, melatonin will peak, reaching concentrations 10 times higher than during the day. But this gradual increase is important. Your body needs time to transition. A sudden spike in melatonin would be jarring, confusing. The slow rise allows every system to adjust at its own pace. Here's something remarkable about melatonin. It doesn't just affect humans. Nearly every living thing produces some version of it. Plants make melatonin. So do bacteria. Simple algae floating in the ocean have melatonin. This molecule is ancient. one of the first timing signals that evolved on Earth, billions of years ago, when life was just beginning to track the cycle of day and night. Your melatonin does more than signal bedtime. It's also a powerful antioxidant, protecting your cells from damage. It supports your immune system. It helps regulate your body temperature. Scientists are still discovering all the ways melatonin influences your health. Every year brings new research, new understanding of this molecule that's been inside us all along. But the most important function, the reason your body produces melatonin every evening, is timing. Melatonin synchronizes your internal processes with the external world. It ensures that sleep-related changes happen at night, not during the day. It keeps your body aligned with the Earth's rotation. The trickle is flowing now. Melatonin is entering your bloodstream, beginning its work. And one of the first things it influences is something you can actually feel, a change in your core temperature that's starting right now. As melatonin begins circulating, one of the first things it influences is your core body temperature. All day, your internal temperature has been relatively high, hovering around 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, keeping your metabolism humming, your mind alert, your body ready for action. But now, in these minutes after sunset, your body begins a slow, controlled cooling. It's subtle at first, less than a degree. You won't notice it consciously. There's no moment where you suddenly feel cold. But deep inside, in your core, the temperature is dropping. This isn't a malfunction. This is essential. Your body can't enter deep sleep while it's warm. The cooling must happen for rest to come. Think about the last time you tried to sleep on a hot summer night. No air conditioning, windows open, but no breeze. Your body felt heavy, restless. Sleep wouldn't come, or if it did, it was shallow and broken. That's because your core temperature couldn't drop the way it needed to. The cooling process is that important. Your body maintains temperature through a delicate balance. On one side, you're constantly generating heat. Your metabolism, the chemical reactions that keep you alive, produce warmth as a byproduct. Your muscles create heat when they move. Even your brain, thinking and processing, generates warmth. On the other side, you're constantly losing heat to your environment through your skin, through your breath, through any surface that touches the cooler air around you. During the day, these two forces stay roughly balanced. You produce heat and lose it at similar rates, maintaining a stable core temperature. But as evening arrives, melatonin tips this balance. It doesn't stop your body from producing heat entirely. That would be dangerous. Instead, it increases how much heat you lose, creating a gradual cooling effect. The drop in core temperature triggers other changes too. As your body cools, your metabolism slows slightly. Cellular processes that were running at full speed during the day begin to ease back. This isn't shutting down, it's shifting into a different mode, one optimized for rest and repair rather than action and alertness. Your brain is particularly sensitive to temperature. Cooling helps quiet neural activity, reducing the electrical noise that keeps you awake. It's like turning down the volume on a radio. The signal is still there, but it's softer, less demanding of your attention. This cooling creates the conditions for sleep to eventually arrive. Scientists have studied this temperature drop extensively. They've found that people who struggle with sleep often have problems with this cooling process. Their core temperature stays too high or drops too slowly. Some researchers are experimenting with ways to help this process along, using cooling devices or temperature-controlled environments to support the body's natural rhythm. But for most people, most of the time, the process works perfectly. Melatonin rises, temperature falls, and the body prepares for rest. It happens automatically, every evening, without any conscious effort. Your body knows exactly what to do. The cooling is underway now. Your core temperature is beginning its descent. And to accomplish this cooling, your body is about to use a clever trick involving your hands and feet, redirecting warmth in a way that might surprise you. To cool your core, your body uses a clever trick. Blood vessels near your skin's surface, especially in your hands and feet, begin to dilate. They open wider, expanding to allow more blood flow. This isn't random. This is your body's radiator system kicking into gear. Think about how a car engine stays cool. Hot coolant circulates from the engine to the radiator, where it releases heat into the air before flowing back. Your body works similarly. Hot blood from your core travels to your extremities, where it can release heat through your skin, then returns cooler to your center. Your hands and feet are perfect for this job. They have a high surface area compared to their volume, and they're usually exposed to cooler air. More importantly, they contain special blood vessels called arteriovenous anastomoses. These are like shortcuts in your circulatory system, direct connections between arteries and veins that can open or close depending on your body's needs. During the day, especially when it's cold, these shortcuts stay mostly closed. Your body conserves heat, keeping it in your core where it's needed. Blood flows through your hands and feet, but slowly, minimally. This is why your fingers and toes might feel cold on a winter morning, even when the rest of you feels fine. But now, as evening arrives and your body needs to cool down, these special vessels open wide. Blood rushes into your hands and feet. The flow increases dramatically. Heat radiates away through your skin, carried off by the cooler air around you. Your core temperature drops while your extremities warm up. This is why your hands and feet might feel warmer as you're falling asleep, even as your core cools down. It seems backward at first. Shouldn't everything cool down together? But your warm hands are actually evidence that cooling is happening. They're warm because they're doing their job, carrying heat away from your center. Some people naturally have better heat dissipation than others. If you've ever shared a bed with someone who seems to radiate warmth while you stay cold, you're experiencing differences in this system. Some bodies are more efficient at opening these blood vessels, at moving heat to the surface. This can affect how quickly someone falls asleep, how deeply they rest. Scientists have found that gently warming your hands and feet can actually help you fall asleep faster. Not because warmth makes you sleepy, but because it encourages these blood vessels to dilate, supporting your body's natural cooling process. A warm bath before bed works partly for this reason. It heats your extremities, opens those vessels, and when you get out, heat escapes rapidly, dropping your core temperature. The dilation is happening now. In this 4th minute after sunset, your circulatory system is redistributing warmth, preparing your body for the deeper changes ahead. Blood vessels that were narrow and constricted are now open highways, carrying heat away from your core. You might notice this if you pay attention. Your hands resting on your chest or stomach. Are they warm? That warmth is your body working, cooling itself in preparation for sleep that's still hours away. This is the beginning of that process, the foundation being laid minute by minute. And as your body temperature shifts, other systems are responding too, including the one responsible for digesting your day's meals. Your gut has been busy all day, processing food, absorbing nutrients, moving everything along. But now, as evening settles in, it begins to slow. This isn't failure. This is intentional. Your digestive system, like everything else in your body, follows the master clock's rhythm. Throughout the day, your stomach produced acid to break down food. Your pancreas released enzymes to digest proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. Your intestines contracted in waves, pushing food through your system. All of this took energy, lots of it. Digestion is hard work, consuming about 10% of your daily energy budget. But as sunset arrives and melatonin begins to rise, signals travel to your digestive organs. The message is clear. It's time to wind down. Enzyme production decreases. The cells lining your intestines slow their absorption work. The muscular contractions that move food through your gut become less frequent, less forceful. This is why eating a large meal late at night often leads to discomfort. Your digestive system is trying to rest, but you're asking it to work. It's like trying to run a marathon right before bed. Your body can do it, but it protests. The food sits heavier in your stomach. Digestion takes longer, and that work interferes with sleep, keeping your metabolism elevated when it should be slowing down. Your gut has its own clock, independent but synchronized with the master clock in your brain. The cells lining your digestive tract express those same timing genes we talked about earlier. They know what time of day it is, and they adjust their function accordingly. Morning is peak time for digestion. Evening is time for rest. This isn't just about comfort. This circadian rhythm in your gut affects your health in profound ways. When you eat matters almost as much as what you eat. Studies have shown that people who eat late at night have more trouble maintaining healthy weight, even if they eat the same total calories as people who eat earlier. The timing throws off the metabolic process. Your gut bacteria are listening too. Yes, the trillions of microbes living in your intestines also follow circadian rhythms. Different bacterial species become more or less active at different times of day. They respond to when you eat, when you fast, adjusting their own metabolism to match your body's rhythm. When you disrupt your circadian clock with late meals or irregular eating, you disrupt their rhythm too. The slowing of your digestive system serves another purpose. It redirects energy. During sleep, your body does important maintenance work. Cells repair damage. The immune system fights off infections. The brain clears out waste products. All of this requires energy. By slowing digestion in the evening, your body ensures that energy will be available for these overnight tasks. Right now, your gut is entering its rest phase. Stomach acid production is decreasing. Intestinal movement is slowing. The trillions of cells that make up your digestive system are preparing for their own version of sleep, a quieter metabolic state that will persist through the night. Your body is redistributing its resources, shifting energy from digestion to other systems. And one shift that's particularly important involves the hormone that's been keeping you alert all day, a hormone that's now taking its final bow. Throughout the day, cortisol has been your companion. This hormone, produced by your adrenal glands sitting atop your kidneys, has helped you feel alert, ready to engage with the world, capable of responding to whatever challenges came your way. But now, in this 5th minute after sunset, cortisol is reaching its lowest point of the day. Cortisol has a reputation problem. People call it the stress hormone, and that's partly true. When you face a threat, cortisol levels spike, preparing your body to fight or flee. But cortisol isn't your enemy. It's essential for life. Without it, you couldn't get out of bed in the morning. You couldn't focus, couldn't respond to challenges, couldn't maintain your energy through the day. Your cortisol levels follow a predictable pattern every day. They peak in the morning, usually around 30 minutes after you wake up. This is called the cortisol awakening response, a surge of the hormone that helps you transition from sleep to wakefulness. Throughout the morning and afternoon, cortisol gradually declines, dropping lower and lower as the day progresses. By sunset, cortisol has fallen to about half its morning peak, and now, as evening continues, it drops even further. This isn't stress relief, though it might feel similar. This is your body's natural rhythm, the result of your master clock telling your adrenal glands to ease off production. The falling cortisol creates space for other hormones to rise. Cortisol and melatonin exist in a kind of balance. High cortisol during the day helps suppress melatonin production. But as cortisol falls in the evening, melatonin can rise freely. They're like two children on a seesaw. When one is up, the other is down. This is why artificial light at night is so disruptive. Bright light, especially blue light, keeps your melatonin suppressed. But it doesn't stop cortisol from falling on its natural schedule. You end up in a strange in-between state, neither fully alert nor ready for sleep. Your hormones are giving mixed signals. Cortisol affects almost everything. It influences your blood sugar levels, keeping them stable through the day. It affects inflammation throughout your body. It influences your memory, your mood, your immune function. As cortisol falls in the evening, all of these systems shift into their nighttime mode. Low evening cortisol allows your immune system to become more active. We'll explore that more in a moment. It allows your body to focus on repair rather than action. It permits the kind of deep rest your cells need to recover from the day's wear and tear. Some people have trouble with this natural cortisol decline. Chronic stress can disrupt the rhythm, keeping cortisol elevated into the evening. This makes falling asleep difficult. The body is receiving mixed signals, cortisol saying stay alert, while melatonin says rest. When this happens night after night, it affects health in serious ways. But right now, if your rhythm is working as it should, cortisol is taking its bow. It's stepping off stage, allowing the evening hormones to take over. The biochemical landscape of your body is transforming from one optimized for action into one optimized for rest. And with cortisol's retreat, your immune system is preparing to step into the spotlight. Here's something remarkable. As you prepare for sleep, your immune system actually ramps up. While cortisol was high during the day, it kept inflammation in check, preventing your immune system from becoming too active. But now, with cortisol falling and evening settling in, certain immune cells become more alert, more active, ready to do their nighttime work. Your immune system has two main jobs. First, defending against invaders like bacteria and viruses. Second, cleaning up damage inside your body, repairing tissues, removing dead cells, keeping everything functioning properly. Both of these jobs happen around the clock, but they intensify at night. Think about white blood cells, the soldiers of your immune system. During the day, many of them circulate in your bloodstream, patrolling, looking for threats. But as evening arrives, something changes. These cells start leaving your bloodstream and migrating into your tissues, into your lymph nodes, into places where they can do deeper, more thorough work. Your lymph nodes are like service stations for your immune system. They're scattered throughout your body, small bean-shaped structures where immune cells gather to coordinate their response to infections. During sleep, your lymph nodes become more active. Immune cells cluster there, sharing information, mounting responses to any threats they've detected during the day. This is why you often feel sicker at night. If you're fighting off an infection, your symptoms typically worsen in the evening and overnight. That's not the infection getting worse. That's your immune system ramping up its response. Fever, inflammation, all the uncomfortable symptoms of being sick. They're actually signs that your immune system is working hard. Your body knows that during sleep, it will have the chance to focus energy on healing. You won't be running, thinking, digesting. All that saved energy can go toward immune function. So your immune system prepares for this opportunity, getting ready even before you fall asleep. There's a molecule called interleukin-1 that becomes more active in the evening. This molecule promotes inflammation and also promotes sleep. It's like a messenger that coordinates these two processes, ensuring that immune activity and rest happen together. When interleukin-1 levels rise, you feel sleepier, and your immune response strengthens. This is why sleep is so important when you're sick. It's not just about resting, it's about giving your immune system the time and resources it needs to fight. People who don't sleep enough have weaker immune responses. They get sick more often and take longer to recover. Your immune system also uses sleep time to clear out damaged cells. Every day, some of your cells get injured by normal wear and tear. They accumulate damage to their DNA, to their proteins, to their internal machinery. If left unchecked, these damaged cells can cause problems. But your immune system identifies them and removes them during the night, cleaning house while you rest. Right now, in these evening minutes, your immune cells are mobilizing. They're preparing for the night's work, positioning themselves where they're needed most. Your body knows what's coming. It knows that sleep will soon arrive, and it's getting ready to make the most of that time. And as your immune system strengthens, your muscles are beginning their own transition into rest. Your muscles have been holding you upright all day, moving you through the world, maintaining your posture, responding to every command from your brain. Now they begin to relax. It starts subtly, with the small muscles around your eyes, your jaw, the tiny muscles in your face that hold expression. You carry tension in ways you don't realize. Your shoulders might be slightly raised. Your jaw might be clenched, teeth touching when they don't need to. Your forehead might hold a furrow, muscles contracted in concentration or concern. All day, these small tensions accumulate, building up like static electricity. As evening arrives, these muscles begin to let go. It's partly voluntary. You settle into a comfortable position, consciously releasing tension. But it's also driven by changes in your nervous system, shifts happening beyond your awareness or control. Your muscles receive signals from your brain through motor neurons, nerve cells that control movement. During the day, these neurons fire frequently, keeping your muscles ready to move. But as evening progresses and your nervous system shifts into rest mode, the baseline activity of these neurons decreases. Your muscles receive fewer signals telling them to contract, and they naturally soften. There's a feedback loop between muscle tension and mental state. Tense muscles send signals back to your brain, messages that can increase feelings of stress or alertness. When your muscles relax, those signals quiet down. Your brain receives fewer alarm signals, fewer indications that you need to stay vigilant. This creates a cycle where physical relaxation promotes mental calm, which in turn promotes more physical relaxation. Some muscles resist this evening relaxation more than others. Your neck and shoulders, in particular, tend to hold tension. These muscles work hard all day supporting your head, which weighs about 10 pounds. That's like carrying a bowling ball on top of your spine for 16 hours straight. By evening, these muscles are tired, but they might be so accustomed to tension that they don't release easily. This is why gentle stretching or massage before bed can feel so good. You're helping your muscles do what they're trying to do anyway, assisting the natural relaxation process. You're working with your body's evening rhythm rather than against it. Athletes know about this evening relaxation. Their muscles, pushed hard during training, need the nighttime release to recover. During sleep, muscles repair micro tears, build new fibers, grow stronger. But that process begins in the evening, with this initial letting go of daytime tension. Your breathing muscles relax too, in a controlled way. Your diaphragm, the dome-shaped muscle beneath your lungs, continues working, of course. You never stop breathing, but the pattern changes. Breaths become slower, deeper. The frantic pace of daytime breathing, quick and shallow when you're focused or stressed, gives way to the longer, more measured rhythm of rest. Even your heart, which is a muscle, responds to this evening shift. It keeps beating, always, but the rate slows. Each beat becomes a bit more leisurely, less urgent. Your heart knows the day is ending just as surely as your conscious mind does. The release is happening now. Tension melting away, muscle by muscle, fiber by fiber. And this physical relaxation is supported by a deeper shift in your nervous system, a fundamental rebalancing that's been building through these evening minutes. All day, your sympathetic nervous system has been dominant. This is your action system, your fight or flight responder, the part of your nervous system that keeps you alert and ready to respond to challenges. But now, as darkness approaches, your parasympathetic nervous system begins to take over. These two systems work like a seesaw, always in balance, but shifting weight between them depending on what you need. The sympathetic system accelerates things. It speeds your heart, quickens your breath, sharpens your focus. It diverts blood to your muscles and brain, preparing you for action. All day, it's been gently active, keeping you engaged with the world. The parasympathetic system does the opposite. It slows things down. It's sometimes called the rest and digest system because it optimizes your body for recovery and nutrition absorption rather than action. When parasympathetic activity increases, your heart rate drops, your breathing deepens, your pupils constrict slightly. Blood flow shifts toward your digestive organs. This isn't a complete switch. You never go fully into one system or the other. Both are always active to some degree. But the balance shifts, like adjusting the volume on two different speakers playing simultaneously. As evening arrives, the sympathetic volume decreases, while the parasympathetic volume increases. Your heart rate is one of the clearest signs of this shift. During the day, your average heart rate might be 70 or 80 beats per minute. But as evening progresses, it naturally drops by 5 or 10 beats per minute. Not because anything is wrong, but because your parasympathetic system is exerting more influence over your heart's rhythm. This shows up in something called heart rate variability, the natural variation in time between heartbeats. Higher variability is actually healthier. It means your nervous system is flexible, able to adjust quickly to changing demands. And heart rate variability typically increases in the evening as parasympathetic activity rises. Your pupils are responding too. All day, they've been adjusting to light levels, getting smaller in brightness and larger in dimness. But there's also a baseline size that changes with your nervous system balance. Sympathetic activation dilates pupils. Parasympathetic activation constricts them slightly. As evening arrives and you shift toward parasympathetic dominance, your pupils settle into a more relaxed state. Digestion becomes more efficient under parasympathetic control. Remember how your digestive system was slowing down earlier? That was about circadian rhythm. But the parasympathetic system ensures that whatever digestion is still happening works optimally, that nutrients get absorbed effectively, that your gut has what it needs to do its work. Your skin changes too. Blood vessels near the surface dilate under parasympathetic influence, part of that heat dissipation process we discussed earlier. But it also gives your skin a different quality. Daytime skin can look tighter, more tense. Evening skin often appears softer, more relaxed. This rebalancing affects your mind as well as your body. The sympathetic system promotes alertness, vigilance, quick reactions. The parasympathetic system promotes calm, contemplation, slower processing. As the balance shifts, your thoughts naturally slow down. The racing mental chatter of daytime begins to quiet. Your body is actively choosing rest over alertness, calm over vigilance, recovery over action. And as this nervous system rebalancing continues, your brain itself is beginning to change how it processes the day's experiences. Even before you fall asleep, your brain starts to change how it processes information. During the day, your hippocampus, a seahorse-shaped structure deep in your brain, has been busy encoding new experiences. Every conversation, every sight, every moment of your day has been temporarily stored there. But now, in these twilight minutes, it begins to prepare for its nighttime job. The hippocampus is like a loading dock for memories. Experiences come in throughout the day, get processed, tagged with emotional and contextual information, then wait for transfer to long-term storage. That transfer happens primarily during sleep, but the preparation begins earlier, as evening arrives. During the day, your brain is in acquisition mode. It's taking in new information constantly, processing it quickly, making rapid decisions about what's important and what can be discarded. But this mode isn't ideal for consolidation, for taking those temporary memories and converting them into permanent ones. As evening progresses, your brain begins to shift. Acquisition slows down. You're less likely to form strong new memories in the evening than you were in the morning. This isn't because you're tired, though fatigue plays a role. It's because your brain is starting to focus inward rather than outward, beginning to review and organize rather than continuing to collect. Different types of memories get processed in different ways. Procedural memories, the kind that involve skills and physical tasks, get consolidated during certain stages of sleep. Emotional memories get processed differently than neutral ones. The hippocampus works with other brain regions to determine what should be kept and where it should be stored. This evening preparation involves changes in brainwave patterns. During the day, your brain produces lots of beta waves, fast oscillations associated with active thinking and focus. As evening arrives, these begin to give way to alpha waves, slower rhythms associated with relaxed wakefulness. You're not asleep yet, but your brain is downshifting. The shift also affects attention. During the day, you can hold multiple things in your working memory simultaneously, juggling tasks, switching between different streams of thought. But as evening progresses, this capacity naturally decreases. Your attention narrows. This isn't failure. It's your brain letting go of the need to track everything, beginning to settle into a simpler, more focused state. There's something called the spacing effect in memory. Memories formed right before sleep get consolidated more effectively than memories formed in the middle of the day. If you're studying or learning something new, the hours before bed are actually valuable time. Your brain is already in preparation mode, already setting up the processes that will solidify those memories during sleep. Some people notice they become more reflective in the evening. Thoughts turn inward. The day's events replay in your mind, not obsessively, but naturally, as your brain begins its review process. This isn't rumination. It's the beginning of memory consolidation, your hippocampus starting to sort through the day's experiences. Your brain knows what's coming. It knows that during the night, it will have hours of uninterrupted time to organize memories, to strengthen important connections, to clear out unnecessary information. So it begins preparing now. In these quiet minutes, shifting its focus from taking in new information to processing what it's already received. And while your brain prepares for its nighttime work, your cells throughout your body are intensifying their own cleanup efforts. Inside each of your cells, cleanup crews have been working all day. But as evening arrives, this work intensifies. The process is called autophagy, which literally means self-eating. It sounds harsh, but it's essential. Your cells are recycling their own damaged parts, breaking them down and reusing the raw materials to build new, healthy components. Every day, your cells accumulate damage. Proteins get misfolded, twisted into shapes that don't work properly. Mitochondria, the powerhouses that generate energy, wear out and become inefficient. Bits of cellular machinery break down from constant use. If this damage accumulated without being cleaned up, your cells would eventually stop functioning. Autophagy is the solution. Special structures inside your cells, called lysosomes, act like recycling centers. They contain powerful enzymes that can break down almost anything. Damaged proteins, worn-out organelles, even invading bacteria, all get delivered to lysosomes and dismantled into their basic building blocks. This process operates on a circadian rhythm. It happens throughout the day, but it becomes most active as you prepare for sleep. Your cells know that during the night, when you're not moving or eating or demanding energy for active tasks, they'll have the resources to focus on maintenance. The trigger for increased autophagy involves several signals. Falling insulin levels play a role. During the day, when you're eating, insulin tells your cells to grow and build. But as evening arrives and you stop eating, insulin drops. This signals cells to shift from growth mode to maintenance mode. Autophagy ramps up. Melatonin contributes too. That same hormone that's been rising since sunset also promotes autophagy. It activates certain genes that increase the production of autophagy-related proteins. Your cells become more efficient at identifying and removing damaged components. This cellular cleanup is crucial for longevity. Scientists studying aging have found that autophagy tends to decline as we get older. Cells become less efficient at clearing out damage, and that accumulated damage contributes to age-related diseases. But maintaining strong circadian rhythms, including the natural increase in autophagy each evening, helps preserve cellular health. Your brain cells are particularly dependent on autophagy. Neurons don't divide and replace themselves the way many other cells do. The neurons you have now are largely the same ones you've had for years or decades. They need constant maintenance to stay healthy. During sleep, autophagy in brain cells increases dramatically, clearing out the day's accumulated waste. There's a waste product called beta amyloid that accumulates in the brain during waking hours. If it builds up too much, it can form plaques associated with cognitive decline. But during sleep, the brain has a waste clearance system that becomes more active, washing away beta amyloid and other debris. That system is preparing now, in these evening hours, getting ready for its nighttime work. The process isn't visible. you can't feel it happening. But right now, in billions of cells throughout your body, molecular machinery is identifying damage, tagging it for removal, delivering it to recycling centers, breaking it down, and preparing to reuse the pieces. This is your body maintaining itself, keeping your cells young and functional. Autophagy is one reason why disrupted sleep is so harmful. When you don't sleep enough or sleep poorly, this cleanup process gets interrupted. Damage accumulates faster than it can be cleared. Over time, this contributes to cellular aging and disease. But when your circadian rhythm works properly, when evening arrives and your cells shift into maintenance mode, autophagy does its job perfectly. And as this cellular work intensifies, we're approaching the 8th minute, the threshold where day truly becomes night. By now, the sun has been down for 8 minutes. True darkness is settling in. The blue wavelengths have completely faded from the sky. What remains is deep twilight, that in-between state where day has clearly ended, but night hasn't fully arrived. Your eyes are responding to this final transition in remarkable ways. Your pupils have dilated as wide as they'll go. In bright sunlight, your pupils might be just 2 or 3 millimeters across, tiny openings letting in only the light you need. But now, in dimness, they've expanded to 7 or 8 millimeters. That's a huge difference in area, allowing much more light to enter your eyes. But pupil dilation is just the beginning. Inside your retina, a chemical transformation has been happening throughout these 8 minutes. A protein called rhodopsin, which sits in your rod cells, has been rebuilding itself. During the day, bright light breaks rhodopsin down faster than it can regenerate. But as darkness arrives, it accumulates, making your eyes increasingly sensitive to dim light. This process is called dark adaptation, and it takes time. After 8 minutes, you're partway there. Your eyes are now about 1,000 times more sensitive to light than they were at noon. But full dark adaptation takes 30 to 45 minutes. If you've ever walked from bright sunshine into a dark room and noticed how your vision gradually improved over several minutes, you've experienced this process. Your rod cells, the ones responsible for vision in dim light, are taking over from your cone cells, which handle color and bright light vision. You have about 100 million rods in each eye, but only 6 million cones. During the day, the cones dominate, but as darkness falls, the rods become your primary visual system. This is why colors fade as evening progresses. Your rod cells can't detect color. They only sense light and dark, shades of gray. In deep twilight, reds and blues become indistinguishable. Everything takes on a monochrome quality. This isn't a flaw, it's an adaptation. In low light, detecting movement and shapes matters more than identifying colors. Ancient humans needed this sensitivity. After sunset, threats could emerge from the darkness. Being able to see in dim light, to detect movement, to navigate without stumbling, these abilities meant survival. Your eyes are still equipped with this ancient capability, adjusting to darkness the same way your ancestors' eyes did thousands of generations ago. But there's a catch. This dark adaptation is fragile. A single flash of bright light, especially blue light, can reset the process. This is why looking at a phone screen at night is so disruptive. It doesn't just suppress melatonin, it also breaks down rhodopsin, forcing your eyes to start dark adaptation over again. 8 minutes have passed. The threshold is crossed. Your eyes have adjusted. Your body has transformed. The cascade that began when the sun touched the horizon has moved through your entire system, changing temperature, hormones, muscles, immune function, cellular processes. You are now in evening mode, physically different from the person you were at noon. But here's what makes this truly remarkable. These 8 minutes aren't an ending. They're a beginning. The changes that started when the sun touched the horizon will continue unfolding for hours, deepening and intensifying as night progresses. This was just the opening movement of a much longer symphony. The 8 minutes have passed, but the transformation continues. What began at sunset is far from finished. Think of these 8 minutes as the opening credits of a film. The story has been introduced, the themes established, but the main narrative is still unfolding. Melatonin will keep rising for hours. Right now, it's still relatively low, just beginning its climb. But over the next few hours, levels will increase tenfold, reaching their peak around 2 or 3 in the morning. This rising tide of melatonin will deepen every change that's already begun. Your core temperature will keep dropping. In these first 8 minutes, it's fallen by maybe half a degree. But by the middle of the night, it will drop a full degree or more below your daytime average. That might not sound like much, but in the tightly regulated world of body temperature, it's significant. This cooling is essential for deep sleep. Your immune system will keep strengthening. Those white blood cells that started migrating into tissues will continue their journey. By midnight, your immune response will be at its peak, ready to fight infections, clear damaged cells, repair tissues. This is why your body temperature rises when you're sick. Fever is most pronounced at night because that's when your immune system is most active. The cellular cleanup intensifies further. Autophagy, already ramping up, will continue increasing for hours. By the time you're in deep sleep, your cells will be working at maximum efficiency, clearing out damage, recycling components, preparing for tomorrow. This process is one reason why sleep is so restorative. Your cells literally clean themselves while you rest. Your brain will move through different stages as the night progresses. Right now, you're still awake, brainwaves showing the alpha rhythms of relaxed wakefulness. But eventually, you'll drift into light sleep, then deeper sleep, then REM sleep, where dreams occur. Each stage has its own purpose, its own type of restoration. Memory consolidation will happen in waves. During deep sleep, your hippocampus will replay the day's experiences, transferring important memories to your cortex for long-term storage. During REM sleep, emotional memories get processed, integrated with existing knowledge, woven into your understanding of the world. The parasympathetic dominance will deepen. Your heart rate will slow even further. Your breathing will become more regular, more rhythmic. Blood pressure will drop. Every system in your body will settle into its most relaxed state. This nightly recovery period is crucial. Without it, your cardiovascular system would wear out much faster. Your digestive system will reach its lowest activity around midnight, then slowly start preparing for morning. By dawn, it will be ready to process breakfast, enzymes increasing, motility returning. The cycle will begin again. Even your genes are following this rhythm. Different genes activate at different times of night, each with their own schedule. Some genes support immune function and peak in the early evening. Others support cellular repair and peak in the deep night. Still others prepare for waking and peak just before dawn. Your entire genome is orchestrated by the circadian clock. The 8 minutes after sunset were just the beginning. The conductor raised the baton. The musicians started playing. But the symphony has many movements, each building on what came before, each necessary for the whole to work. Your body knows the score. It's been playing this piece your entire life. Every evening, whether you notice it or not, your body performs this elaborate transition. It's been doing this your entire life. Before you could walk or talk, before you formed your first memory, your body was already tracking the sun, responding to sunset, preparing for sleep. This ritual is older than your consciousness, deeper than your awareness. Your ancestors' bodies did this. Go back 100 generations, 1,000, 10,000. Every human who came before you experienced this same cascade. Their eyes detected fading blue light. Their pineal glands released melatonin. Their core temperature dropped. The process is written into your biology by millions of years of evolution. But it's not just humans. Your dog or cat, if you have one, goes through similar changes each evening. So do birds, settling into their nests. So do insects, finding shelter for the night. Even plants respond to sunset, folding their leaves, adjusting their chemistry. This response to day and night is one of the most universal features of life on Earth. You are part of an unbroken chain of beings who watched the sun set and felt their bodies respond. This connects you to the past in a tangible way. Your cells are doing exactly what countless generations of cells did before them, following instructions that have been refined and perfected over inconceivable spans of time. Think about what this means. You don't have to learn how to prepare for sleep. You don't have to consciously lower your temperature or release melatonin or shift your nervous system balance. Your body knows. It has always known. All you have to do is not interfere, not override the signals with artificial light or stress or poor timing. This wisdom exists in every cell. Your liver cells know what time of day it is. So do your kidney cells, your skin cells, your muscle cells. They all follow their own circadian rhythms, coordinated by the master clock, but operating with a degree of independence. You are not one clock, but trillions, all synchronized, all working together when this system works properly. When you honor your circadian rhythm by seeing natural light during the day and avoiding bright light at night, by eating at regular times and sleeping on a consistent schedule, you feel it. Energy comes more easily. Sleep arrives naturally. Your mood stabilizes. Your body functions optimally. But when the system gets disrupted, when you ignore these ancient signals, consequences ripple through your entire physiology. Sleep becomes difficult. Energy fluctuates unpredictably. Immune function weakens. Even your risk of chronic diseases increases. The rhythm matters more than we often realize. The beautiful thing is that it's never too late to realign. Your circadian system is resilient. If you've been disrupting it, you can restore it. Watch a sunset. Let darkness be dark. Give your body the signals it needs. The wisdom is still there, waiting to be honored. Right now, wherever you are, your body is doing its best to follow this ancient pattern. It's measuring light. It's adjusting hormones. It's preparing for rest. Even if you've been fighting against it, even if you've been overriding the signals, your body keeps trying. It wants to help you. It wants to guide you through this transition from day to night. All you have to do is listen and trust that your body knows what it's doing. But there's something important we need to consider about our modern world. All of this depends on that initial signal, the detection of fading blue light. Your master clock needs to know when sunset happens. Your pineal gland needs permission to release melatonin. Your entire system needs that cue to begin the evening cascade. But in our modern world, we often override this signal completely. Artificial light is everywhere. We flip a switch and banish darkness. We stare at screens glowing with blue wavelengths. We work under fluorescent lights that mimic midday sun. To our ancient biology, these signals mean one thing: the sun hasn't set yet. Day is still happening. Don't start the evening cascade. Our eyes can't tell the difference between sunlight and artificial light. Those light-sensing cells in your retina respond to blue wavelengths regardless of their source. A bright screen at 10 in the evening triggers the same response as the sun at noon. The signal to your master clock says, stay in day mode, suppress melatonin, keep cortisol elevated, maintain alertness. This creates a biological confusion. Your clock, which evolved to track a 24-hour day, receives mixed messages. Darkness has fallen outside, but your eyes are telling your brain it's still daytime. The cascade gets delayed, confused, or skipped entirely. Your body wants to transition to evening mode, but the signals won't let it. The consequences of this disruption are more serious than just difficulty falling asleep. Chronic circadian disruption is linked to obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, depression, and even some cancers. This isn't speculation. Decades of research in humans and animals have documented these connections. When you repeatedly override your circadian rhythm, your health suffers. Shift workers experience this most severely. People who work night shifts and sleep during the day are forcing their bodies to operate backwards. Their eyes see light at night and darkness during the day. Their master clock tries to adapt, but it can never fully adjust because on days off, they return to a normal schedule. They live in perpetual circadian confusion. But even people who don't work shifts often disrupt their rhythm. Staying up late on weekends, then waking early on weekdays, creates a mini version of shift work, sometimes called social jet lag. Binge-watching shows late into the night, scrolling through bright screens right before bed, working on a laptop under artificial light hours after sunset. These behaviors all interfere with the natural 8-minute cascade. The challenge is that modern life, almost requires this disruption. Work demands often extend past sunset. Social activities happen in the evening. Entertainment is available 24 hours a day. It's easy to forget that just a few generations ago, when the sun set, people's activities naturally wound down. They had firelight, candles, but nothing approaching the brightness of modern lighting. Some solutions are simple. Dim lights in the evening. Use warm-colored bulbs instead of bright white ones. Wear blue light-blocking glasses if you must use screens. Set devices to night mode. Go outside and watch actual sunset when possible. These small changes can make a significant difference. But the larger challenge is cultural. We've built a society that ignores circadian biology. We celebrate people who sleep less, who work longer hours, who override their natural rhythms in pursuit of productivity. We treat sleep as optional, darkness as inconvenient, rest as weakness. Your body doesn't care about these cultural values. It only knows the rhythm it evolved to follow. And when you force it to ignore that rhythm night after night, year after year, something important gets lost. So tonight, as you rest here, perhaps there's something grounding in knowing what your body is doing in these quiet moments. You're not just lying still, you're participating in an ancient process, older than language, older than civilization, older than humanity itself. Your body knows how to do this. It's been practicing for longer than we can imagine. 8 minutes after sunset, your body has already transformed. Your eyes have detected the change in light. Your master clock has received the signal. Melatonin has begun its rise. Your temperature is dropping. Your immune system is strengthening. Your muscles are releasing tension. Your nervous system is rebalancing. Your brain is preparing to consolidate memories. Your cells are intensifying their cleanup work. All of this happens automatically, without thought, without effort. You don't have to manage your melatonin levels or consciously adjust your core temperature. Your body does it for you, following instructions written in your genes, refined by evolution, perfected over countless generations. This is what makes you part of something larger. Every human who has ever lived experienced this transition. Every sunset throughout history triggered this same cascade in bodies that were, at a fundamental level, the same as yours. The kings and farmers, the explorers and artists, the children and elders, all carried this same biological wisdom. And it's not just the past. Right now, across the world, billions of people are going through this same process. In different time zones, under different skies, speaking different languages, their bodies are all responding to sunset in the same fundamental way. You're connected to them through this shared biology, this universal rhythm. There's comfort in that, knowing you're not alone in this, knowing that your body is doing exactly what it should be doing, what it was designed to do. Even if you've been fighting against it, even if modern life has made it harder, the process continues. Your body keeps trying. It keeps following the rhythm as best it can. Tomorrow, the sun will rise. Your body will detect increasing blue light. Melatonin will fall. Cortisol will rise. Your core temperature will increase. The cascade will reverse, preparing you for day. And then, tomorrow evening, when the sun sets again, the whole beautiful process will begin once more. This rhythm has been cycling since before you were born. It will continue cycling for as long as you live. Day becoming night becoming day. Your body tracking it all, adjusting constantly, keeping you synchronized with the spinning earth beneath you and the sun above. All you have to do is let it happen. Trust the process. Honor the signals. Give your body the darkness it needs, the regularity it craves, the respect it deserves. Your body wants to help you rest. It wants to guide you into sleep, to heal you overnight, to prepare you for tomorrow. It knows what to do. So, if this gentle journey through your body's evening wisdom brought you peace, if you'd like to explore more of these hidden rhythms together, I'd love it if you'd hit that like button and subscribe. Tomorrow, we'll discover something else remarkable hiding in plain sight. And leave a comment about where you're listening from and what time it is there right now, what your body is doing in this very moment. For now, let yourself drift. Your body knows what to do next. Sweet dreams, fellow wanderer.